Maybe that's you right now. On a train. In Tokyo. Watching this. Watching me. Watching you. Sweet Periscope. Ba ba ba. I forget how to... Hey, what's up? Friendos. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to my bedroom. I now sleep in my office. Not really. But I'm putting up a Patreon-only video which kind of updates everything that's going on in June. So I thought I'd also do a Periscope and update all y'all. In fact, it's the squeakiest chair in the fucking world. In fact, I'm going to be doing a bunch more of these in the future, especially this month, because E3's on, and I'm going to be recording a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff for patrons, but also doing a bunch of hot Periscopes too. What's up, Kilkenny? I'm a Waterford man, I'm sorry. Yeah, so a couple of things updates, and I'll answer your questions as well while I'm here. Working on a Final Fantasy video. It's literally, that is the first episode right now, 52 minutes right now, probably going to be a little bit longer. Three-parter coming right after E3, like the day after E3. Don't have exactly the day yet, but it's either going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or the Saturday, Sunday, Monday for the three pieces. So we're going to have a trailer for that as well, like the day before, and it'll all go up. So no more of the no more teasers up, but once the trailer comes out, they'll basically be out then right away. What up, Nick? Welcome to Periscope. I don't do this enough. This thing's fun. So that's that. So we've been working our asses off on that for like forever. So it'll be great to finally have that out. Editing Japanese is pretty tough. So yeah. Glad to have it done, and it's a really fun story, especially if you're not, well, not especially, but if you're not a Final Fantasy fan or an MMO fan, it's been edited to really fill you in on all that sort of stuff as well. Yeah, so no, right before Stormblood comes out. Before Stormblood's out on the Tuesday, I believe, right? Yeah, so I'm not sure if they're running like a little beta or anything like that. Yeah, so that's number one. E3 then is I'm doing a couple of appearances there. I'm going to be on the Giant Bomb stage. I think I'm on Jeff Keighley's. I'll be on a couple of other ones too. But I'm mostly there doing meetings, so there's going to be some behind the scenes stuff for patrons that I'm working on, and I'll do some periscopes and stuff like that. Early access is on Friday. Okay, cool. Good to know. Thanks for the heads up, actually, late night. Yeah, but I'm mostly down there figuring out what we're doing for the rest of the year. We have a really big project, which I can't wait to talk about, scheduled for shooting in around August time, late July, which is literally like maybe the one that everyone's been asking for the most, maybe? Probably the one that they thought we could pull off that they've been asking the most. There's been lots of pie in the sky things. Like, it's not, I'm not talking to Kojima. It's not that one. That's the one everyone keeps asking about. Maybe one day, but not in August. But it's a really cool one, so I can't wait to talk about that. We're probably going to talk about that one a good bit before we go shoot it, because I want to get the community involved in that one as well, which is going to be cool. But yeah, we've got interviews. It's not Half-Life 3. We've got interviews with other publishers and developers about stuff for the rest of the year, and we've got some really big ones lined up, so I'm super excited about that. And then, yeah, the other thing, I guess, is, well, there'll be more sessions out as well in Hellraiser 2 Bus Stop documentary. I have baseball, but I think I have my one here. Yeah, look. Shabam! This one didn't make it on top of a bus stop, but because they don't have bus stops in America. In America, you don't want to be throwing things on top of bus stops, like. They just fucking shoot you. So, I don't want to be doing all that. But yeah, sorry, to get back on track. Yeah, sessions, we've got more no-clip sessions going up, which will be super fun. Looking forward to that. But then the other thing is the kind of funny announcement. So, people who are patrons will know that the things that I wanted to do the most is have more like daily stuff where I talk about stuff and get out of the fucking house more, because I'm like going crazy. I've been 8 months of being self-employed, and I've spent, look, that's the way Mel looks right now. Is the way the anger used to be how I looked when I worked at GameSpot. Now I look like Mel, where I'm just like going a little bit crazy. And whenever Greg used to call me up whenever they didn't have somebody for the games cast, and I'd
go over, and it was all loads of fun. And I've since gotten the car, and I'm going into San Francisco more. And even me and Drew are trying to figure out when we're going to record Shift F1 and all that sort of stuff. And I'm moving a little bit away from the Bay Area, like just a little bit further, like 30 minutes further away in a couple of months. And I was organizing like when I'm going to be in San Francisco. And I was talking to Greg about it, and then he pitched this idea of this morning show. And I used to do radio in Ireland all the time. I used to do morning shows. I used to do entertainment morning shows, entertainment segments on morning shows. So I love doing morning shows. It's like my favorite thing to do. So I hadn't done it since I moved to England. So it's been like 8 years since I've done one. So yeah, they pitched this idea of like twice a week, come over and record basically like a morning show, breaking news style thing for 45 minutes and then GTFO. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So that's what's going to happen from now on. Somebody just asked in the chat if those links are going to go up on my Patreon. Not really. My Patreon I'm going to keep to like no clip like stuff, and then the new version of the op-ed show, which we'll get around to this summer, it will be out. It was almost out before E3, but I ended up pushing it back because of the Final Fantasy stuff. You worked at radio in Dublin, class. I worked for Beat 102, 103 in the south. I used to work for Today FM, or I used to be a regular segment person on the Today FM as well. Not in WLR, in Beat, next door. But I did some stuff on WLR. But yeah, sorry, that morning show is going to be basically twice a week. I'm doing it. I think Wednesdays and Fridays is the way it's going to work. I'm actually going to Europe right after E3, so I'm not going to be on it until early June. But that's going to be really fun. I don't know, I'm not on their pre and post show E3. Basically, what I'm doing for Kind of Funny is that morning show, and like maybe the Games Cast as a fill-in every now and again, which is kind of what I already have been doing for the past 8 months. Like in the same way I was filling in on the Bombcast when Brad needed somebody. I've kind of just been like a gun for hire for the past 8 months, which has worked out for me. What up, Portugal? I used to go on holidays in the Algarve, Montechoro, beautiful part of the world. This is early June. Early July, sorry, my bad. March. So yeah, I'm not part of any of that sort of stuff. Yeah, so that's what the Kind of Funny stuff is about. So I'm really excited about that. I love chatting to Greg about games. I watch a lot of their stuff, and I like most of the game stuff they do. And I've always been more of a like hard talking, like straight talking video game chat thing. So I think this is a really good fit for me because it's not the sort of interactive live stuff that they do a lot of, which is less of my style. It's more of, this is the news. What does this mean? Who are these developers? What's the history? What do we think is going to happen? It's more like analytical, which is kind of my pace. So, yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to that. You should do a talk in the WIT next time you're home. My old college, I don't know if they'd like me to go there. I don't think they'd like what I have to say about that college. Ooh, I don't know about that. I'd love to do a talk at my old high school. I love the De La Salle in Waterford. It's amazing. Thanks so much, Owen. That's really kind of you to say. What are Ireland's chances against Austria on Sunday? I have no idea. I'm out of the loop on football completely. I could not tell you. So if you have any questions about that sort of stuff, let me know. There's a Patreon-only video going up. It's processing now. It's about 2 minutes away from being processed, so that'll be up in the next, whenever I finish this, basically. New Bethesda announcements. I don't know. I'm going to the Bethesda conference, the pre-show, or the press conference and the other thing, and they have those two... there's going to be two announcements, it looks like, at least from the invitation, because there's two areas that have like question marks on them. So yeah, that transistor poster is great. You can order that from Supergiant, that poster. I ordered it from Supergiant. But I lost my train of thought completely. Somebody said Taco Bell wedding, and I lost my train of thought completely. I'm not going to the Taco Bell wedding, but we'll see about that. Danny, how mad am I if I take a job from a developer in the Bay Area? I mean, just make sure they're paying you enough, because the rent here is nuts. That's why we live in this tiny place. So, Bethesda. Sorry. So Bethesda, yeah, two things. The good money is on a Wolfenstein sequel and maybe a new Evil Within, but who knows? I don't think we're going to see Todd Howard's new thing, because they now like announcing stuff 4 months before they come out. I think there's going to be a Doom 2 made. I think we'll hear about that next year, probably. But I expect Bethesda to be relatively low-key this year, kind of. Because, I don't know, like, Prey and Dishonored didn't light the world on fire, I feel like, commercially. So I have to say. How much free time do you have to play games? Kind of a lot sometimes and not a lot other times. When I'm in edit, not a lot at all. Or I just feel guilty doing it, so I can't. Skyrim Special Edition. Oh yeah, Skyrim on Switch does show, but I don't think that's going to be. That's not a question mark game. We know that's coming out, so I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't know. I think we might see Red Dead at one of the conferences. They might just show like a little like environmental trailer or something. But we'll see. Uncharted, I think. Well, the things I'm excited about Uncharted, Sony is the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC stuff. I really hope I get to see. Stuff I'm playing at the moment. Not really much. Final Fantasy 14 because I'm editing this video. Rocket League and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds basically are the two things I play every now and again. But I haven't had PUBG, but I haven't had But they both stress me out. Rocket League stressed me out because I only do 2-player and I scream. I'm the meanest Rocket League like teammate ever. I'm such a prick. So that stressed me out. And PUBG is just like the most nerve-wracking game ever. So I can't deal with it. Play Rocket League mostly on PC. I've got about 140 hours on PC and about 100 hours on PS4. I love my Vita. My Vita's up there. That's coming to E3 with me for sure. Yeah, I need to do like PUBG actual. I dropped my phone all over the place. Yes, I have a Switch. It's the best. So that's pretty much the updates for June. I feel like I'm going to be in E3 in LA, like I said. We might do a meetup of some sort. I'll post about that on the Patreon feed. I'm going to London after that, and I'm really looking forward. I've been looking forward. I used to live in London. I'm really looking forward to going back. My wife has never been with me, so I'm excited for that. If you're in London or England, thoughts go out to you. All that stuff is absolute bollocks. It's awful. I used to live in that part of town. I lived in Elephant and Castle, but I worked on Southwark Street. That's where the old GameSpot UK offices used to be. So I used to commute past Borough twice a day. So. Yeah, that whole thing it scared me here. I remember being terrified when the London riots were happening. So to think what that stuff was going on is really messed up. So I'm looking forward to going back to London next week and hopefully do like a meetup or something there as well. Yeah, fucked up. Weird times with the election and everything. So strange. Where am I visiting Europe except London? We had originally planned to do a shoot, but it fell through. I'll be able to talk about it sometime in the future, I think, but I can't really know right now. Mostly I'm going back, though. Show the wife your bus stop. I should throw that up on the bus stop. Mostly I'm going back to my dad's birthday's on, so family thing. I try to get back to Ireland twice a year if I can. And I try and organise shoots around it. It looks like I'm going to be going back in like 2 months later for an actual big shoot. But sadly wasn't able to make it line up this time, so you usually try and save a couple of bucks doing it that way. And God knows we spent a lot of money on this Japan trip, so a part of me is like, let's do some shoots in California maybe for a month or two, because Jesus, staying in Tokyo for a week and buying flights last minute was like, yeah, cost an absolute fortune, plus 5 figures, so to put that one together so far. Yeah, so a lot of stuff going on. Meetup in Ireland. I don't know. It feels weird doing meetups in Ireland. I'm home. It's weird. I was once in Waterford, and somebody came up to me and was like, "Oh my God, why are you doing in Waterford?" And I was like, "I lived here for 23 years." Didn't know. It was really friggin' weird. Yeah, and the long version of that dance, Tojo is going to be on the in the full version in the doc as well, which is going to be fun. Yeah, gonna get to Canada at some stage at least. Maybe this side of Canada. We'll see. A lot of our shoots are in Europe or California actually for the next 6 months. So, I really want to do one on PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and he's Irish, but I'm not sure if he's based in Ireland or Korea or he goes between the two of them. So I'm trying to hunt him down because I really want to do one on PUBG because that game's dope. PUBG and Zelda would be ones I'd love to do, or Horizon. That'd be fun ones. So. Have to wait and see. Alright, I'm going to head out of here. The processing is done on the June Patreon update video. If you want to check that out and you're a patron, it'll be over on patreon.com/DanielDwyer. I'll take 3 more questions from the chat. Let's see how they are. Have a good day. Bye, Miles. Not a question. Sony hardware announcement at E3. Definitely not. They will say games. Microsoft will say hardware, I bet. Do you think any virtual console stuff would be available pre-2008 while it's still free? I don't know. The messaging around that whole thing's been really strange. I think they're going to announce something. This is a direct tomorrow, right? So maybe tomorrow we'll know, actually. We'll see about that. God of War, yes. The prediction, they will put Cory Barlog on a stage and they will show God of War. Definitely. I think that's their big game to show off. I imagine it'll come out next year early, probably at some stage. What's the optimal consistency of Jaffa cakes? There's a different consistency. Don't put them in the fridge if that's what you're saying. That's ridiculous. Oh, it's a Pokemon Direct tomorrow. Okay, fair enough. Detroit, 2017, 2018 later. Are you talking about Detroit Become Human, or are you talking about Detroit, Michigan? Who knows? Question marks. All right, I'm out of here. Thanks for hanging out. Loads of behind-the-scenes stuff from Periscope from E3 next week, because I'll be delighted to have that Final Fantasy stuff donezo. So, yeah, see that. I'm going to go to bed now. Bye!